So you see the NASDAQ heading down, and then S&P 500. These follow those. Spider, NASDAQ, and the iShares Russell 2000 Index. Thank you for joining me this morning for my live trading session, although I should call it a live, probably not trading if the market, well, can it continue like this, really? Who knows? What do we have here? Let's find our levels. This would be like roughly equivalent to the NASDAQ. Now ignore this little bar right here because I don't know if that's real. I don't get these very often on here, but once in a while one of these will appear that's not real for some reason because of the nature of this being the paper trading platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to my other screen that has my real money account and see, and no, this artifact does not show up here. And let's see if it shows up if it tells us that bottom of that is an actual low, because that can affect a lot of things. Let's see, so 317.50, yeah, it's telling us that's a real low. And the time on that is 5 a.m. So when I look on my real one and I check out 5 a.m. Candle, it's just this little short tiny candle there, and it says the low of the day was, or if that particular time was 323.77, not 317.54. Well, now I've documented it. Maybe I should reach out to TD Ameritrade and let them know that this is happening. I've already asked them about why the level 2 is so slow in the paper trading, and they've told me that they're using in my mind, I think that the paper trading platform is sort of a buffer for their real platform. In other words, if they have the computing power to run, say, 10,000 people really well on their regular trading platform, and they have, say, 8,000, then that extra computing capacity goes towards their paper trading. Maybe I'm saying that backwards. So they have enough capacity for the people that use the platform. And they also have capacity for a mediocre paper trading. And I think if the computing capacity if the needs, I guess, of the regular trading people with the real money go up, I imagine that would reduce even more the quality of this. The market's going down. Now it's popping up. So let's see what's going on with some of our stocks. Of course, we have AMC was one of the ones we made money on twice yesterday. Seems like I have a pattern so far. In the morning, I go in and I make some money. And in the afternoon, I go in and I give some back. Yesterday, I narrowly curbed that. See, are these real? I don't think so. No. On the real chart, well, now this is just pre-market. Let me just make sure I'm not. Well, they did Add one spike, at least one spike, up to not to 1650, that's for sure. Okay, now this is really starting to bother me. I do believe I need to speak with a representative on this matter by this point. So they're open. Let's see if they get back. Hope they do. And what I'm talking about right here is these little things right here. These do not appear. Okay, this is the AMC 5-minute chart. These spikes don't appear in the regular daily chart. These are happening at 1420. Yeah, there's one on the daily chart. There's a quick spike up to like 770, but nothing that even comes anywhere near approaching 1650. And also these little spikes in the downward direction on the Spider and the NASDAQ index fund and the Russell's 2000 iShares 2000 index fund. Those don't exist in the they're 5 a.m. Yeah, so I'm looking on my other screen in my live account. No, there's nothing there. So since we probably won't be trading this morning, in fact the goal is not to trade, it's to make money. So if there's not a really exciting trade that I have great confidence in, I'm not going to be trading. The reason I started this show was to make myself a better trader by not doing stupid things in front of other people. So that's why I'm here. Hopefully you're here because you want to do the same thing. You want to become a better trader, and maybe you want to be a little bit, how would you say it? A little more selective in your trades like me. And that's a good thing, because when we are not selective in our trades, that's when we start making crazy trades. No, still not getting back to me. Let me put this off to the side here. And I'm just going to leave it on this screen over here. I have a couple other screens. Actually, I have 4 extra screens besides the one you see, but 3 of them are not hooked to this computer. They're part of my desktop setup. I'm using my laptop for this broadcast. Just works out to be easier that way, and the equipment handles it better. Hopefully this afternoon, you won't have to suffer through all these dead silences, because I'm looking up a way to put a little bit of music in the background. Last night I spent a couple hours selecting some music. Had a really good time just listening to all these free, like royalty-free music that you can use. And at first I wasn't too selective, so I just downloaded a bunch of stuff. But then after I basically had my fill, I could afford to be more selective, so I spent some real time. Found a couple of really good artists. I can't wait to just have them on in the background. It's not like I'm going to be a DJ or anything. But there's that. Meanwhile, I'm trying to take care of some background things. It looks like even the, look, I'll show you. These guys still haven't got back to me yet. It says that they're available from 4 a.m. till 2 p.m. I am assuming that's Western time, my time, because why would they close at 2 p.m. New York time? That would just be stupid, unless it's a holiday. And not many holidays on Wednesdays these days. Oh, look. Oh, no, same thing. Somehow it shifted, though, from one line to the next. Admin or representative will be with you shortly. That fooled me into thinking maybe they actually typed something new. Oh, look. Okay, here we go. We got some action. Sean B. is on the line. See what he has. If he tells me they can't do anything because I turned off my diagnostics, I won't be surprised, but I'll be disappointed. I turned off my diagnostics because I think it probably slows my computer down a little bit, and I'm not working on the best, newest stuff. I mean, I have equipment good enough to do what I need it to do, even got a little graphics card in there, but it's still not the best. So we have Sean B. so far just sitting there. Hopefully he's not calling his supervisor saying, hey, what do I do? This guy's live streaming. And I don't want that. So I'm not really sure how that might affect things. Meanwhile, prepare to be bored. I got up a little bit late this morning, so I'm just taking care of a few little minor things right this minute. For those of you tuning in, I just sent a request to the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform support, asking them why these little artifacts keep showing up on their paper account. These spikes, this is AMC, these spikes right here do not occur in the real-time real money account. The highest they go is 770. Maybe I'll just print a screenshot of that. I wish I would have took a screenshot. I also had downward spikes over here. I still can. You know what? I'll just open this up a little bit. Oh, where'd they go? There were some downward spikes in the SP 500, the NASDAQ, and this. Oh, here's. Did this one really happen? What time is that at? 6:14. 6:14. Okay, let's see if that's in the real one. It's QQQ. And where'd my little window go with the thing? Come back here. There we go. He still hasn't. See, I got Sean B on the line. I have for several minutes now, but Sean B has not gotten back to me yet. Even though this is a live. I don't know why I need such a big box here. This could be perfect. I don't really need to see that. All right. So basically what I do in the pre-market is I look to see what else is hot. I do have a scanner, which I use on occasion, but mostly other people have really good scanners that are easy to use. It's on YouTube. It doesn't use my resources. So often I will just tune into the Calvera Trading YouTube channel that has so many stock scanners. I mean, look at that. So the NASDAQ spiked down past 315 briefly, and now it's back up around 318. This pre-market is where we really try to find our levels for the things that are going to be going up and down. Oh, it looks like we don't. So between $1 and $10, nothing. Let's give it a little more room. Try 20. Plus 20% change is too much to ask. Let's try 10. If nothing shows up, lower your standards. Right? Okay. Well, forget about this. Why reinvent the wheel? Let me show you what I use. So this is the Calevra Trading Trade Ideas Livestock Scanner, and this has some pretty good filters on it. You got stuff like gappers under 50 million float, gappers above 50 million float, gappers under $1. So you got a lot of stuff. Pre-market movers. It kind of gives you an idea what's going on. Like, okay, TBT, pre-market high. I might look at that. I'm not really interested in pre-market lows right now. I'm looking for something between $1 and $20 that's got room to go up and very little downside. Who isn't, right? But I haven't had a lot of luck on the penny movers with the low floats, but this has a pretty good float. And the volume today, I mean, it's not the most awesome, but it's almost $250,000. Let's see what that's doing right now, just for the heck of it. So the way I deal with this, get this one out of the way. Put this guy in here. KIHS. See what it looks like. So that's got a lot of movement from 232. That's a high over, what is that, 5 days? Yeah, to a low of 144. So that's what, 90-cent move, roughly. And today, it's range. Let's find the range. It's been up here, 191. So that's kind of like the, that would be resistance if it started to pop up. Here would be more resistance, possibly. Sometimes previous resistance can act as resistance. Sometimes previous support can be resistance. So, I don't know. I'll put it on the watch list, but I probably won't use it. And one of the reasons I'm not super excited about this is because it's been up high before, real recently. And when that happens, what you end up with is like potential resistance. Like, okay, right here, how do we get this level right here? It probably just kind of bumped into it right here, lost the momentum, you can see. You know, maybe spiked up a little bit, but really it found this level and it decided that's where it wanted to stop because of this over here. And the reason that works is because there's other traders that believe that works. So you can see, you'll see these levels loosely repeating themselves over and over. So this right here looks like it could be a resistance level at some point. This support could become support again, or resistance now that it's down below it. Where's the stock price? 168. Yeah. We also have a little bit of support down here in the post market. Wow. And it opened way down here. So now this was a real dip and rip yesterday. This would have been nice to catch down here. I don't know exactly how I might have played it. See what you could have done, but it was way below VWAP. So wait till it comes up here, consolidates a little bit, and there's not a play in here that I see. These bars are too even. Let's look at it on a 1 minute. Okay, let's see it again. So as it sits here and rides the VWAP, you start to find the top, which is about right here. So the time to take this trade, this would have been a really good trade except for one thing, and I'll let you guess what that is for a minute. So you see where the entry's at? Okay, this would be a textbook entry for this, except for one really small reason. You want to know what that is? Here's the small reason. Very small volume. It's not a lot of volume. So you have a price movement, but you don't have a lot back in it. Like over here, look at this volume. Okay, you had 227,000 volume. You printed 227,000 shares on this bar, this green candlestick right here. And what's crazy about it is it would have been a good buy setup right here. Once this candlestick passed this, when this is going up, especially once it passes here, because once it passes here, 164 is your buy-in, 161 is your risk, and as you're watching all this volume pour in, you can have so much confidence as that goes up, up, up. When it gets here, goes up here. Now it turns red. It starts to come back down for a second. Well, it doesn't turn red, but it kind of does. It doesn't, but it does. And then it bumps over here, and now you have this low volume bar. So you start to see your buyers wear off. You don't know where these buyers came in. Did they come in near the end? Come in near the beginning? Because this was a very, very few buyers. I would imagine these buyers came in somewhere near the middle of this when this bar was forming. Okay, so now the market's open. I'm not going to get too excited. It's actually red, but we're going to watch for some dip and rips. And that's going to be our focus today. If we don't see a dip and rip, because that's kind of been my go-to now. Okay. So look at that. I think that means that the representative has gotten back to me. Let's see what we have. Okay, did he write back? Hello, thanks for contacting the trade desk. Oh, good. He's thanking me. Hmm. Okay, so Sean B says, hello, thank you for contacting. This is, by the way, if you just tuned in and you don't know, I was asking them if they could fix these. They have these little artifacts that show up that are like these big spikes in price that don't really exist in real time on some of these stocks, like I have AMC is a good example. This morning, it went to a high in the post market yesterday of 1650. No, it did not. And these have happened before, and I've had them happen over here. So I'll look at the market go up. Isn't that nice? And us dealing with paper trading issues. This is a known issue that can occur in paper money, typically in the after hours. You can hover over the bar, right-click the bar, and then select correct this bar. Oh, so they have a fix for a known problem that does not involve them just fixing it. But good to know. Thank you, Sean. That will do the trick. So basically, if you're just tuning in, here's what I wrote to him. Okay. Because I saw these artifacts here, I saw some over here. I was like, okay, so I said, good morning. I've noticed strange artifacts on my paper trading charts which show outrageous brief price spikes. As an example, my monitor right now shows 2 spikes on AMC up to 1650, when on my real money account it shows a spike only to 770. This is in addition to the slow level 2, which is still an inconvenience. Thing is, I am trying to live stream on YouTube from my paper account, and these issues cause unneeded distractions. Is there any way to fix the problem? Thank you. And that was at 6:11. So at 6:11, TD Ameritrade came back and said, from admin, a representative will be with you shortly. Cue the elevator music. At 6:30, Sean B. came back. Hello, thanks for contacting the trade desk. Standard. Then Sean B. at 6:30 also wrote, this is a known issue that can occur in paper money, typically in the after hours. And he also wrote, you can hover over the bar, right-click on the bar, and then select correct this bar. And then they showed me. So I'm going to try that right now. I'm going to hover over this bar. Watch this. I'm going to get this bar, buddy. Okay. A little finer. There we go. Correct this bar. Oh, man. Yeah, it's never going to be simple, is it? Let's just get rid of it. Remove. Uh-huh. Okay, Sean. So I have to actually enter in the values I really want. I'm going to complain about that. That's ridiculous. Yes, Sean. Yes, Sean. Oh, he also wrote, that would then allow you to remove the bar or adjust the price on the bar. Thank you, Sean. That will do the trick. And then he wrote, you're welcome. Are there any other questions I can answer? Yes, Sean. I can't seem to make it work that simply. They want me to enter the correct values, and I cannot find a way to simply remove the bar. Since 4 of them appear. Oh, 2 on the one chart and then 3 on the other, but I'm not going to count them. Since 2 of them appeared on the paper on the AMC market, chart from last night. What am I trying to do here? Am I expecting them to fix the issue? Well, I don't know if that's reasonable or not. Is that unreasonable? Do you want them to make this work? It's been clearly not working for the last year and a half or so. I mean, I think that's the first time I noticed it. Has anyone else noticed it? Leave me a message. Send me a comment. Okay. Since two of them appeared on the MC post-market chart from last night, it occurred to me that there could be thousands of other people experiencing the same issues. Wouldn't it be simpler to fix the bug on your end once and for all? That's what I would like them to do, honestly. I don't see why they can't. Seems like I get John B a lot. I wonder if that's a real name of a real person and they just kind of connect you to someone you've got a history with, or if it's just like randomly selected out of a short list of names that they use for their representatives. There's actually a John living, somewhere in Dayton, Ohio, sitting hopefully at his home, instead of at a desk at an office. Meanwhile, I feel like I'm not really missing out too much on trades or anything. I mean, when you look at this market and you see how fast this stuff is going down. Oh, here's another one. Is this it? Is this another artifact, or did it really go down that far? Oh, these are my lines, my levels I drew from yesterday. Okay. You can select remove the bar, then hit close. Oh, really? So I don't have to hit apply? Well, let's see if that works. That would be awesome. Correct this bar. Remove this bar. Oh, how about this one? And then close. All right, that's easy enough. No big deal. And it won't affect the values of any of my moving averages. I hope removing no effect on the moving averages. When the bar is there, does it when the bar is there, does it affect the averages? Okay. by the way. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work. I thought you always have to hit apply or whatnot. But see, when apply is blacked out, you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? But the bar's gone. Boom, close. Oh, look, here's another one. Oh my. Oh, but that's a real one, maybe. Is it? I'm gonna look on the other. See, now I'm like chasing rabbits on this thing, but that's all right. Did they have one? Did they have a downward spike to a low of 632 at 14:33 yesterday? That's 2:33 in the afternoon, Western time, 5:33. Okay, so 16:33. Let's see if we have. I see no such spike. Yeah, on the real money one, it says the low was 733. Whoops, 730. In that area, there's nothing spiking that low. So here's a third bar that doesn't belong. Messing with something anyway. Still, wouldn't it just be simpler? Okay, so I had to remove 3 bars from the AMC chart. But I had to remove 3 bars from the AMC chart. This can get tedious. Are you sure TD can't afford a junior tech to handle the issue that plagues so many people trying to be responsible and learn trading on paper? If you want exact numbers, you can get the information on the live side and then input them. That's what he wrote. Oh, okay, so here's, and removing the bar has no effect on the moving averages. When that bar is there, does it affect the averages too? And Sean B says it would, but it should be better than the erroneous bar. And he also wrote, I will usually either remove or set it to the same value as the prior bar or bar that follows. Then I wrote, but I had to remove 3 bars from the AMC chart. This can get tedious. Are you sure TD can't afford a junior tech to handle the issue that plagues, I spelled plagues wrong, so many people trying to be responsible and learn trading on paper? And Sean B wrote back, if you want exact numbers, you can get the information on the live side and then input them. And then he wrote, again, it's unfortunately a limitation of the paper platform. See, I don't get that. What does that mean? It's unfortunately a limitation of the paper platform. I'm not buying it. That is unfortunate. Whoops, wrong keyword. That is unfortunate. But there must be a way to fix it. If this problem occurred on the live side, would it also be an unfortunate I understand resources are limited, but this is particularly affecting a lot of people. I'm going to ask him if he can send a ticket upstairs. Can you send a support ticket to IT to have it looked into at least? Look at these levels. I love these levels. I love it when I see tops like this. It just pop right there, 770 over and over and over again. So that's your ceiling right there. If it probably will not break above that. Let's see what it looks like right now. I'm going to see the 5-minute chart real quick. Look at that. It just will not go above 770 if AMC ever gets. And they're right there again. Correct this bar. Remove this bar. Is it going to be there again? Correct this bar. Remove this bar. Oh, there's our dip and rip. This is on the 5-minute chart. We see how it dipped this morning down to below 7. And then it ripped. Let's look at that on the 2-minute chart. Yeah, that's the dip and rip we were looking for. From basically 7 to 750. Now I don't know exactly. I don't remember how far back this line goes. Sometimes I need to delete my drawings before I start putting more, because where would have, okay, let's look on the one that I don't really see a good buy-in right there. Maybe a little faster time frame. So on the 1-minute chart, let's see if we could see where we might have bought it. So when this that ringing sound, I can hear it, but that means that the TD representative has gotten back to me. See what he has to say. Okay, so I said, can you send a support ticket to IT to have it looked into at least? And then Sean B said, it is a well-known issue. It is a limitation of paper money, unfortunately. I would not anticipate it to be corrected anytime soon. So in the meantime, you can take those steps to correct. Well, thank you, Sean, for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day, in spite of its limitation. I still love Thinkorswim and will continue to recommend it to my subscribers. Enter. You're welcome. If you have any more questions, please reach out to us via chat, or you can reach us by phone at 800-672-2098. Okay. Support request is closed as resolved. If you require additional information. Okay, so I think I want to copy this to save it, just to have a record. Detach, close, export. Ah, there we go. I've never done this before. Hypertext, is that what I want? Or do I want... Oh, I guess that's the only option I have. Let's see, TD, GG, support. Oh crap, wrong keyboard. Sorry guys. TD, support. Crazy candlesticks. They don't know I only have 10 subscribers. I was kind of hoping that that might make them take a little more, pay a little more attention, you know. But that's what you get for throwing your weight around. Nobody respects weight anymore. So that's closed. Is there any other way to save it? Why does it keep saying he's typing? I don't want to cut him off, but it says it's closed, but it says he's typing. Let's just leave it for a while, see what he does. If he does anything else, we'll know. Okay, so look at how that thing ripped. And we missed it talking to Sean. But that's okay because, you know, in trading, there's always another one coming along. Let's look at this back on the 5-minute. So we have a high yesterday of 786. I think that's the one we need to rip. Now, in case you don't know, anybody that doesn't know at this point, probably is focusing on more important things to their trading like I do. You know, there are a lot of things I don't focus on. There are things I don't waste my time on. Like, I don't waste my time trying to recreate the wheel. There's perfectly good scanners on YouTube that do not use extra resources on the computer. I use those right now. A lot of stuff I don't waste my time on. I wish I wouldn't have wasted my time on that chat with Sean, but I did. But anyway, so if you're focusing on other things, you may not have heard the news that you know, New York is reopening theaters, allowing theaters to reopen. So next month, AMC Theaters is opening. I believe it's 19. Look at that. It just bumped over that. See if there's any future. 765 might be resistant. See, there's too much resistance really to trade this right now. This would have been a good trade right from 720. Well, it might not have. I would have seen all these and put these in as potential resistance. Anywhere it had resistance before, it could have resistance again. And that's why your better traders tend to skip a lot of trades. because they can look to the left and they see all this possible resistance. So the only real move for this would have been from when this topped this, so right here basically, up to here. So that would have been a 725 to 735 move with a, now your risk would have been down here with 35-cent risk. Now, what we really want to see is we want to watch this thing bust out at over 785, the previous high, 786. We want to see it pop through that 786 level, and then that gives us clean. Well, we can look back and see where. I know it's not clean because it's been way above that level quite often. But if we get above 786, what do we have? Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Try to pick some levels. Now, are these real? I hate that. See, even though these are days ago, months ago, not months ago, days ago, they still matter. How much? You don't really know. Like, this is a real level. This looks like a real level of resistance right here. Just gonna put this in here. This right here, it's been touched 1, 2, and it opened there, spiked up here, went down. So I don't know where to put. I put it right here, even though I could put it at the top of that spike as well. It's too much like spaghetti on my screen though. And then keep going for more levels, more levels. See that? That resolved nicely enough, I think. So I think another level could be, it looks like a level. You know what I mean? You just kind of instinctively say that looks like a level, but there's something to it as well. And that's a much softer level, but it's there. Just want to cover all the bases. Anything to the left that's not blocked by something to the right can become, in fact, look at this resistance right here. You can see this potential resistance. It is resistance. Boom, that touched it once, twice, 3 times. This one went a little higher, but really still kind of counts. So that's where our levels are. Maybe another level right here, but that's already below where we're at. This is concerning. Like 790, 794, whatnot. This aftermarket, I ignored at my own peril. Oh, we're at 779 now. Oh, look at that. If it goes above 786, but it's so tired. It's going to be tired when it gets there, but it's going to get above 786. This is definitely one to watch. So that was a dip and rip with a consolidation and a 3-bar play. See the 3-bar play right here? This one took away. This one added to it. Here's your entry right here at 748, and your risk is 740. So 8-cent risk. And it ripped through all these levels, whatever they were. I drew these lines to the left. So I'd have been a scaredy cat. I wouldn't have took this. I would have took it 6 months ago. But now what I'm going to do is sit here and watch this go up and down, up and down, up and down, hopefully sideways for about 20, 30 minutes, maybe even. Oh, look at that. It broke it. I'm not going to chase. Let's set a new high. 789. Now, realistically, what we really want to see is some consolidation here. We want to see this consolidate, go back and forth, create some new levels. 789 to 779 would be nice if it just sort of hovered in there and created like this nice little flat. This is good too. If we get 50% retracement, that confirms the move. Okay, if we get this to retrace down to here, this looks like a reasonable level. That would be almost 50% retracement. And then if it consolidated or spiked back up, that would be a very good play. If it went above, like say if it hit 790 after about, give it anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. We'll just watch and see what it does for now. One of my favorite free resources for learning these patterns is Jared Wesley of Live Traders on YouTube. And that man has decades of experience. I believe he's retired from one of the big companies that has where he works as a trader. Positive on that. I know he's worked as a prop, worked in a prop shop, whatever. But he gets into the nitty gritty in his free resources. They also, Live Traders also sells a course. I don't even know how much it is, but everything you need is available for free online. There's no need to go and spend money. I'm sure a lot of these guys wouldn't want me to say that, but where you really get the value, I think, is once you become competent enough to trade on your own to a certain degree. I think most people can find value if they join like a community of traders, and a lot of the better communities, I believe, charge money to be a member. But you know, I don't know how much it is. I haven't even really checked, but I'm estimating. I think I've seen a couple of them, maybe a couple $100 a month, something like that. Which, you know, to me, I'm like $100 a month. Oh my God, that's crazy. Why would I do that? But you know, if by joining that you could double your trade success, you know, if you just by talking to those guys in those private rooms, if you could just find out, you know, I mean, they could say, hey, look at this one, something you didn't see, because that's the big thing. Stocks are moving all the time. They're doing stuff. The trick is to see them and catch them, you know, just before they make their big move. So this isn't a bad retracement, but we definitely want to see this go sideways a bit and get some rest before we buy in. I mean, theoretically, we could buy right here. If this green candle goes above 777, we could buy for a quick scalp up to 785, 789. Like right now, 777 to 785 would not be unheard of for this setup. But it might already be tired. You can see this. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't have took the trade, was very low volume on that one. So the buyers are tired. They got what they wanted here and here. Now the sellers stepped in. We want to tire out the sellers. So I'd like to see this red bar turn huge, while this red bar goes no lower than this. We'd have a triple bottom. That would be nice. So that gray line is the 9 EMA, and enough traders use it that I put it on my chart, and that's what makes it work, is people see it and they use it sometimes. And then I have the 20 EMA, some use the 21. In fact, No, I don't have them both on here. The other day I put them both up just to see the difference, and they're so small of a difference, the 20 and the 21 EMA. And then, of course, anybody that doesn't have this one up is really handicapping themselves, because this right here is what's called the VWAP. That's VWAP, the volume weighted average price. And this is if trader, most of the traders I know, if they could only have one indicator, I guarantee you this would be the one that they pick, because when a stock is above it, that's a signal to all the traders that it's generally bullish. So your trades should go in a bullish direction. If it's below it, it's typically bearish. That doesn't mean you're not going to have up and down, but the overall trend is either up or down. So this is above. So it's safe to go long on this, providing your setup is proper. I'll see that. I said maybe up to 785, 789. We're at 782 right now. I don't like that topping tail though. That's a little bit longer of a topping tail than I like to see. So it may not reach that level. If I was scalping right now, I'd look at the level 2. We still have more buyers than sellers, so that's good. But not too many more. It's not like they're overwhelming them. Okay, so now it's like 3 to 2. That's not bad. So now we have more sellers than buyers. And we can see the price went down. What's the market doing? And the market just turned red as well. Yeah, so, and this would have stopped out if I hadn't closed it out up here, because I said the risk was, where did I say the risk was? I said enter at 775. I said put your risk at, oh, okay, no, risk. Yeah, so this might be a good, this is a good move though. This is a good consolidation right here. We want to see something like this happen. And then at some point, after all the sellers are exhausted and they've sold everything they can and the buyers get hungry, we want to see this pop above this level here of 789. If this thing hits 790, the next level is, and I marked them out, but it's quite a ways away. Look at how far back you have to go for, but it exists. It's going to be there. There's going to be potential. Oh, look, we may have something here around 8. There might be some issues. Around 815. I'm just going to put that there. Keep an eye on it. We have one at 773, 815, and a possible level at 911. So if it, so remember 815. Put that down. And then no resistance until you get up to 923, if I'm correct. So there's some room to run. So I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to keep it on my list. And this will climb up. If this stays at its levels, okay, now it's touching the 9 EM, or the 20 EMA, which it's done before. Down here, when it touched it, it went below. Could go down. It may go down and touch the VWAP. You never know. But that's fine. The VWAP's going to climb up to meet it anyway. So we have double bottom. See, this right here is good. This is good. This is a good double bottom. Right here, honestly, if this, see now, this might be a good scalp right here if some volume comes in. Okay, so it opened here. opened down here. At one point went this low, at another point went this high. It's here right now. Oh, and it keeps moving. Yeah, this is that would have been a good scalp if I would have entered because of this double bottom and retracement. You know, went up here, retraced a bit, hit here, boom. Tried, came back, tried to go down some more, couldn't make it. Now it's up. That was a good buy. That would have been a good buy in. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'm trying to learn by teaching, and there are pitfalls in that. Hopefully, I'm not pointing anyone in the wrong direction that has even less experience than me. Like I said, I've been investing since 2001, at which point I thought I was a bit of a stock picking genius for a while, but the market slowed down, and I realized I wasn't. Somehow I have an order box open on my live side, which I did not intend to open. Alright. So what would be really nice would be if this would now maybe pop up here, touch here, and then sort of consolidate on a little bit higher basis. Because if this starts to take off from this mid-level, it has lots of legs left to keep going. So the buy-in on this would be at 790. I haven't been any tickets printed at 790 though. So that would be a huge stretch. There aren't even any for sale at 790 that I can see. Let's look at there is this other level too that we can use. The spread's not bad on this either. Oh, how did I get that? Oh, I did actually trade this yesterday afternoon. I think, didn't I? Does it still show? No. I made a few dollars on it, I think. I know I made 3 trades yesterday, 2 in the morning that netted me a couple $100, and then one in the afternoon I got $40 from, and that was because it immediately started going the wrong direction, didn't hit my stop, but when it went the other way, it was weak, so I just got out with a few pennies profit. And then I never care what they do afterwards. Because once you're out, you're out. I mean, you can watch for a new setup, but never watch with regret, especially if you got out with a profit. So this randomly reappeared on here, and maybe there's a good reason for it, maybe not. Let's look on the 5-minute chart. See this? So when it opened this morning, it ripped up from 735 to 743, bumped over to the next minute. It opened at 744. At some point, made it up to 745, probably right after, right away, but we don't know that for sure. And then to dump all the way to 731. And now it's been, if this ever gets above, see now the reason why this one is moving was one of the analysts or whatever from one of the big banks, is it Barclays? Gianni adjust price target to $8. Yeah, so that was the news. It's still under $8, but that's a price target by an analyst. So theoretically, it's somebody that knows what they're talking about, saying it's worth $1.50 more than it was trading at the time, or at the target that they had for it. And I do have some trades on this. I'm not sure if they'll show up on this particular screen. We'll see. And I'm pretty sure they will show up on one of these screens. Oh, here we go. We got play again. Let's see. For some reason, my trades were showing up on other screens. Maybe on this one. Oh, who cares? AMC just popped again. New high. Oh, you can see my trades here. Yeah. Okay. So look what it's doing. Let's put it back on. I want to put it on a 1 minute. 796. Next target, either 815 or 923. Let's watch it consolidate a little bit. Look at that. It popped, and I wasn't watching it. That's what happens, though, but that's okay. There's always another one. It's going to consolidate a little bit and then pop above that high. The problem for me is the next target is like 813. So that would be no, that's not bad. Maybe 15 cent, 13 cent gain if we got in at 796. 796 to 813 is not so bad. Let's see what it does on volume. Let's watch the volume. Let's watch the price. This looks like a good bottom here. If this holds. Ah, shit. It's time to get in. Look at that. Buy market. I'm going to get 2,000 of these. No, let's do 1,000. I'm not buying market. That's just the way I enter my orders right now. Because, let's, there's 183 for sale at that price. Did I get filled? No. It went to 8. I'm not going to chase it. It'll come back down and hopefully won't keep going down. Okay. All right, so I'm going to watch this like a hawk. I'm actually watching it on my other computer as well. So I got filled at 795. I'm 1,000 long, and it looks like I'm flat right now in terms of profit. It needs to get up there and break that 8 again. Where's my stop? That's too close, 788. I'm going to put my stop down here, give it some room to move. 766, holy cow. What would that do? That's not too bad. So let's enter this little stop here. Edit minus 1,000. Always set your stops as soon as you can. Once I realize that, this will be the stop, and 765 is where I want it. I mean, if it hits that, it's going to be tragic. That's going to cost a lot. But so 765 is my risk. I got in at 795. That's a 20-cent risk. That means really to pay off, I need to see a 30-cent gain, which if it passes that 815 mark, which I believe it will, I think that's a very soft, maybe a level 2 resistance, if any at all. The next real resistance is at 923. And if it starts to look shaky, then I'll just get out before it hits my stop, because I'm not just going to waste money. If there's certain sense you can get about a stock. Okay, like here we got 282 sellers and 13 buyers. Which direction you think the price is going to go down? I mean, I gave it away. Now we have 52 buyers and 38 sellers. That's not a lot of upward pressure. Now here's upward pressure, 156 to 59. It really has to go up, especially with this spread. Now 205 to 25, which way you think it's going to go? It's going to go down. And there's going to be a battle, which is fine, as long as the battle keeps it above 795. So it made a high of 803. So it's got no problem breaking out of that $8 mark. Coffee. I recommend never stepping away from your desk when you're in a trade unless you have an active spot in place. I forgot to check what the market was doing when I entered that trade. Now if AMC, look at this, if the AMC keeps going up when the market's doing this, then it is super strong. But that just means I really have to watch it. I may just want to flatten. Look at the, oh, I don't like those. I don't like these dojis up here. Those are not good. Should I sell? Oh, look at that though. I do like that. Green candle with a long bottoming tail so far. I mean, it's not closed yet. The doji could go either way, but since the top was slightly longer than the bottom, I was worried. Looks like I didn't need to be. There's a lot of, look at this. Look at this volume on this green candle. Yeah, look at that, 805. That's $100 so far. I might just sell at 813. You see this line where I drew this level? That is, if you look on the left, it's a ways back, like 15 days ago or so. But that was a potential level of resistance. What I like about this level too is it puts everything in one place. All the bidders, all the sellers get added up at their levels instead of that other level 2 that just takes too much. I like this. I like that this is at a glance the volume, how many it printed that day. So today at the 807 level, it has so far printed 56,000. And then over here it tells you your profit or loss at any particular level. So that's my favorite. I would not use any, and plus you can actually enter orders here if you want. You could buy and sell by clicking. I don't do it because my default is 100 shares, and I don't want to get in the habit of clicking 100 shares at a time. So I do it the long way, and at some point, once I'm finished really learning a couple of these really good patterns, and then I'll start to learn order entry, and that's just going to turbocharge my trading because it will allow me to put my trades in a lot faster. But right now that I'm new, I'm not sure I would benefit by putting in fast trades. So taking the time to type them out and whatnot, it actually gives me time to reflect on what I'm doing, time for sense to kick in if I'm not doing it right. So we're losing volume. It's going red. Is it just gonna bop down to here and bounce? I hope so. New high of 809. Looks like there's unusual options activity. See, at this point, I probably would have tried to get out somewhere in this candle when I saw this red kicking in with pretty relatively strong volume compared to over here. But I'm kind of committed to riding it out now. I mean, I could close for $60 profit, but realistically, I think this still has room to go. It would be tragic though if I hit my stop. What I should do is close half my position. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell 500. Whoops. I'm going to put this as a limit, and it's going to be at 804. 805. That's going to make some money and keep me 500 shares. I'm up 130, and I have 500 shares. I'm going to put another order in right now. Oops. Limit. And I'm just going to sit here and watch it. Ooh, see, it touched 813. Came back down. If it crosses 813, I think I'm going to hang on to these and see if it makes it 923. The nice thing about selling half is if it does go down, I lose a lot less. I've already locked in about $65. Oh, look, it pumped above 813. It could go anywhere now. I'm watching the volume. Should I sell? Is it going to consolidate around 815? It made it up to 817. So it blew past that resistance, that possible resistance, remember, that I drew from the left. Okay, I'm getting rid of these drawings. This is too much. Remove drawings, clear drawings. That's too many drawings. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. So now what do we have? Now I have 817. Okay, look at this. On our level 2, we got a lot of buyers, few sellers. That's clearly going to drive that price up. So I'm not in any hurry to sell. Now we have way many sellers and few buyers. I'm going to drive it back down. If this consolidates some more, I might just buy some more. Let's make this a trail stop and find our levels here. I don't like 10-cent trail stops. Whoops. This is 821. Looks like it's been really trading in a 15-cent range. So I'm going to make a 16-cent trail stop. Make it 19. It's a good way to ride this without having to focus on it too much, because when it hits whatever high it's going to hit, which I think the next really logical place to hit would be 923, and then it starts to bounce downward, it'll go down 19 cents and hit my trail stop. So actually that's a really bad idea at this particular moment, because it won't make me a lot of money, but I'm just running this anyway. I'm letting it run. It's fun to watch these run when you're already green for the day, even if it's only a few pennies, a few dollars. 8.25. Now the 25-cent are not as hard as the 50 cents to go over, or the $1 marks, but whenever you get to those, sometimes those can be a hang up for traders. Traders tend to respect those levels of the quarter and the half dollar and the dollar. So that'll be a good sign if it bumps over 8.25, which it did. But if it can sustain it, it's very strong. Look at the volume. The volume's still really good. I mean, you know, the buyers and the sellers keep fluctuating, but we have a really, really tight spread. So it won't be any hassle to get out of at any point, I don't think. I could have went heavier into this, and because there's good news, and but the reason I didn't was because I'm really not super clear. I wasn't super clear on that 813 spot. Now, if this rests here at any point, if we can get a good 5, 10, 15 minute sideways movement, I might buy 2,000 shares if it pops above the high. Like, let's say this right now goes from, it just sort of hovers here from around 825, 827. All right, I'd like to see this sort of consolidate in a narrow range here. Narrow, so it doesn't hit my stop, would be ideal. And if it did that for a little while, then as soon as it popped above it, I would want to buy more. But at this point, because it has ran this crazy marathon, let's see the 5-minute chart. It's been running this marathon. It would be crazy to buy more at this point. I would just be chasing it. I'm not saying it's going to start to come down, because there's no resistance that I can find anywhere on the chart unless I go back way farther. But basically, the more recent activity has tended to block out the rest of that. But I'm going to show you what I mean again. So we're going to do 20 days, 1 hour. So when you look over here, we can see all these highs have been knocked out. We're up here at 826 now. So the area we're concerned with now is this area here. Basically from here, anything above 826. So we have potential resistance right here at 915. We have some more resistance potential at 975. And that's a pretty solid one there. I wouldn't expect it to bump above 975. Or 915. That's a ceiling too. But if it does, we don't have anything else till maybe here. 14. I mean, there's some levels in the pre-market, post-market, but and of course support can become resistance. So we do need to be aware that this support right here at 863 could potentially become resistance. It might even turn into it down here at 8. See this one right here? It's 849. Sometimes, quite often, your support can become resistance. Let's see what it's doing again. I might want to sell this. 832. It's just doing so good. Look at that go. Yeah, if I'd have bought in at 2,000 shares and kept them, I'd have $1,000 profit right now. Let's see what I'm gonna actually sell at 849. Whoops, not that one. I already have an order in. TD will not let me put another order in while there's an order. Wait a minute. I'm gonna watch it, see what it does. Okay, it paused at the nickel at 845. It got a new high. I may want to sell this at cheaper. See, now if this goes up above 845 and I have this limit order in at 835, I'll still get the higher price. It will give me the highest price it can. But if I have this in at 835, at least I will not get like some crazy low price. 846. What's it gonna do at 850? If it hits above 850, it's gonna be really awesome. 848. I'm watching okay, it's going down, but there's a lot of buyers at 842. You see, there's a battle. There's a battle. 839. Oh, that's where I have my limit. Okay, let's see if it consolidates. It's gonna keep going up. I drew that line at 850 because there was something there, and of course it being at the 50-cent mark, that is another potential reason. I'm gonna lock it in. I'm done. Okay, so I sold these. My day's profit, $295 on basically 3 trades because I opened at 1,000. I locked in some profits at 808 and then sold again at, I got a price of 841 even though I set my limit at 839. So that's not too bad. If it breaks above 850, we can revisit it for another trade. Just because it's made a run doesn't mean it's exhausted, but it does need a rest. But we can draw some levels on here. But what we have here, look at this. See where, oh, look at that. This predicts. And why does it predict? Why does it work? Because other traders think it works. And we'll go from this one. Look at how well that trend line predicted that bottom right there. You see that? Well, it doesn't hurt that it's also at the 20 EMA, but the lines don't lie. I mean, they work. That's why people make money trading. Look at this. So we had this huge red bar that got filled. Now we have this green bar that's eating up half of it. Once this green bar peaks over this red bar, it might be time to get back in this. Depending on the volume. I'm going to get ready though. And I'm going to go big because, let's see, 840 to 850 is 10 cents. And the risk would be too much. See, this is why I like to do this in a broadcast. I get excited about a stock, and it helps me to think about what might other traders be doing right now. You know how sometimes you'd say, like, what would Jesus do? Well, in this situation, I say, what would Jared Wesley do? Or what would Ross at Warrior Trading do, or what would Tim Bowen do, or what would so many of these, Tim Brittani. I used to care what Tim Sykes would do, but not anymore. When he started going short a lot, I guess he's past that now, but he'll go back to it probably. Who am I to predict? But yeah, he bagged on some stocks that my wife was holding, and that was very cool. Clearly, he had a short position in. I like the sideways consolidation. Trying to be a cautious man, and that's why I am making very small trades instead of large. There's 100,000 in this account, this paper trading account. So I thought I could trade as if I had $100,000. 1% risk on $100,000 is $1,000. So that should be the maximum risk for an account of this size. But I'm risking a lot less usually. But if I see the right setup, if I see the perfect setup, I can go big. And then I could put some amazing number on the little thumbnail screen on YouTube, and millions of people will see it and come and check out my channel. Not. Well, I'm glad I got out of that when I did. And it looks like we're going to see some major. Now, we're going to look at this on a different time frame and see what it's doing. This is not a bad thing, especially for us, or for me, because I'm not in this anymore. If we look at this on a 5-minute, we're going to see a buying opportunity about to pop up, I think. See that? So we have a dip, a rip, slight dip, a rip, a dip, a rip, a dip. Will it be a rip? Anybody knows. This would be an awesome rip if it came down to here. If this came, see what I did? I forgot to change this, so I double click to make a line, and that's what it does when I do. At least now I know that's why it does that. For a minute there, for a while there, that was a mystery. But this looks like a level to be respected. 787, maybe 790. Comes down, touches that 90, and so there's a lot of traders watching this 5-minute chart. I think if you notice it touching this 90 MA, you see how it popped below the VWAP, and the VWAP stays the same no matter what your time frame is. Unlike all the moving averages, they change. Like if you have a 9 EMA, what that means is it goes back the last 9 periods. So if you're on a 5-minute chart, it goes back 9 5-minute periods, and then it draws its line, or puts its point, its plot point, which then is what it uses to draw the line. 20 EMA, it goes back 20, the E means exponential. That means the current price has a bigger weight bearing on the plot point for the line than the previous 19 prices. So it's a little more responsive to movement, and a lot of traders use them. You don't need them really. Helps me though, because I see what other traders are doing. But the big important one is this VWAP. That's the volume weighted average price. That's my purple line. My blue line, of course, is my 20 EMA, which could be a 21. A lot of traders use a 21, very little difference. And then this is my 9 EMA. And I started using these because I was watching Ross from Warrior Trading, and he uses them. So I started, and I found them to be, if not always useful. They don't clutter things up. They don't, it's not a bad thing. So now if we draw some new lines here, what do we have? This line is really no longer valid. This is the line. That's the line we're watching now. Okay. So I made it to 848. I'm going to watch and see if it can get some consolidation. See that? Isn't it amazing how they follow these lines? But the reason they follow them is because we're not the only ones putting them here. There's a lot of traders out there that are using lines like this, and so you have people buying. I think prematurely. You know, when it gets down here, they're like, okay, that's gonna go. But what happens there is then you end up in a situation like this. You have to wait for. We're like snipers. We're not throwing hand grenades here. We're digging in. We're watching. We're waiting. Could be very boring. But the purpose of this, profession is to make money, not to get action. If you want action, go to Las Vegas. Now remember, we drew this level because it kind of made sense. So now that it just bumped above that again. So now this is a double bottom, basically, right here. Wait, look at that. No, okay. See, this is it's a sort of a mediocre resistance support. How many times do I have to do that? Probably another 100. But I like this retracement. That gives it some rest. Huge volume. Then it skips around a little bit. More retracement. Also pretty good volume. Now we have a slow crawl up above 827. See now the buy signal. I think the buy signal would have been here. Maybe here. When this bar bumped above this one. That might have been a bit aggressive. But I think we might be coming up on another buy signal if this does what I imagine it might do. But again, I'm not here to predict. I'm here to respond or react to patterns that allow me to predict with great accuracy what's about to happen. So that's not really a prediction. It's more of a action reaction. Okay, so we got green bar, red bar. If this bar stays red and the next bar is green, then our buy-in will be when it tops the top of this bar, which is right at that red line. So if it bumps above 828 at our risk, beautiful, like 814, 815. We call it 814. Give it some room because technically that is a new low. So our buy will be 828. I think it's going to go. I think it'll go. And I think it's worth. Whoops, that's 2,000 shares. Limit. Okay, the price is 820 right now. 819. Where was my risk at? 814. I think that's a good price. Oh, if I go wrong on this, I'm going to be so pissed. But I'm just looking at the setups. That's not an attractive setup anymore. If it goes above this, I'm going to put an order at 8:30. Wait, am I chasing now? Am I being smart? Or am I? I'm just trying to get back my money. Let's watch it. It's above 8:30. Volume, good volume. I'm just going to have my order ready. Oh my, 8:38. It's going to go at least 8:50 right now. I don't exactly know. I don't really recognize what I'm seeing right now, so I'm not going to take that order. Time to get some water. I'm not in any trades. I'm not in any positions, right? AMC, I have none. Okay, good. Well, folks, we're at 295 up for the morning. It's 10:53, almost 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. here. So we've been a good hour and a half, couple hours. I think this is really interesting development, something that we're going to want to watch. May come back this afternoon and trade it again. But for now, it's time to sign off, and hopefully this afternoon I will have figured out the mystery of getting rid of the dead silence when I'm not speaking, and have a little bit of a enjoyable music background for any of my viewers. So I really do appreciate all of you guys watching me, and please hit like and subscribe, so we can do that. Thank you so much. You guys have a great one, and I'll be